Hello grade 9s. Today I am doing a lesson on Romeo and Juliet. We are going to read through the most important scenes, the ones that give you the most information about the plot. You're welcome to read the other scenes if you'd like to, but generally they don't add much in terms of plot development, so we're going to mostly focus on these. Please follow along in your plays and make notes in pencil as you go along. If you do not have access to a play, then you're welcome to use the site that I'm currently using, shakespeare.mit.edu/Romeo_Juliet/full.html. Okay, let's get started. So I have already explained to you what happened in the prologue. That was in our meeting Shakespeare lesson. Now we are going to go to Act 1, Scene 1. The setting is Verona in a public place, and Samson and Gregory of the House Capulet enter, armed with swords and bucklers. Gregory: "Oh my word, we'll not carry coals. No, for then we should be colliers. I mean, an we be in collar, we'll draw." "Ah, while you live, draw your neck out of the collar." "I strike quickly, being moved." "But thou art not quickly moved to strike. A dog of the house Montague moves me." "To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runnest away. A dog of that house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's." So this discussion over here between Gregory and Samson is very important because they are only servants in the House Capulet, but they are involved in the feud as well. So it indicates that the feud is a long-standing one and it goes very deep, that even the servants who are not actually Montagues and Capulets hate each other as well. "That shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall." True, and therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are ever thrust to the wall. Therefore I push Montague's men from the wall and thrust his maids to the wall. The quarrel is between our masters and us their men. 'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant. When I have fought with the men, I will be cruel with the maids and cut off their heads. The heads of the maids? Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt. They must make it in sense that feel it. Me, they shall feel it while I am able to stand, and 'tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh. 'Tis well that art not fish. If thou hadst been poor John. Draw thy tool. Here comes two of the house of the Montagues. My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee. How? Turn thy back and run? Fear me not. No, marry, I fear thee. Let us take the law of our sides. Let them begin. I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they list. Nay, as they dare. I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it. So here the reference to biting a thumb is a really aggressive and offensive gesture. So seeing that would instantly make you want to fight with someone. That's how rude and disrespectful it is. Then Abram and Balthazar enter. They are from the house Montague. Do you bite your thumb at us, sir? Do I bite my thumb, sir? Sorry, I do bite my thumb, sir. Do you bite your thumb at us, sir? Is the law of our side if I say I? No. No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir. Do you quarrel, sir? Quarrel, sir? No, sir. If you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you. No better. Well, sir. Say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen. Yes, better, sir. You lie. Draw if you be a man. Gregory, remember thy swashing blow. And then they fight, and Benvolio from the house Montague enters. He is Romeo's cousin, and he is very level-headed, always trying to be the peacemaker. Part, fools, put up your swords, you know not what you do. And he tries to stop the fight, and then Tybalt from the house Capulet enters, and that is Juliet's cousin. He is very aggressive, very hot-tempered, very quick to anger, and he does not hold the same opinions as Benvolio with regards to fighting. He is more than happy to fight. Why art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death. I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage it to part these men with me. What? Drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell and all Montagues and thee. Have at thee, coward. Clubs, bulls, and partisans, strike, beat them down, down with the Capulets, down with the Montagues. So here we see that the citizens are very tired of all this fighting. They're very irritated with the Montagues and the Capulets always disturbing the peace. And then Lord Capulet and Lady Capulet enter. What noise is this? Give me my long sword, ho! A crutch, why call you for a sword? So, old Lord Capulet is asking for his sword, and his wife is saying, why are you asking for a sword? You are an old man, you should be asking for a crutch. Then Lord Montague and Lady Montague also enter. My sword, I say, old Montague is come and flourishes his blade in spite of me. Thou villain Capulet, hold me not, let me go. Thou shalt not stir a foot to seek a foe. So here, even the old men are trying to fight each other. That is the level of aggression that they hold, these two households hold towards each other. And then we have Prince Aeschylus, who enters. He is sort of like the mayor as well as the police chief of Verona. And he says, rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor-stained steel, will thou not hear? What ho, you men, you beasts, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins, on pain of torture from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground, and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, by thee, old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments, to wield old partisans in hands as old, cankered with peace, to part your cankered hate. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montague, come you this afternoon, to know our further pleasure in this case, to old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death all men depart. So this is very important, where the prince says, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. He's saying that if the Montagues or the Capulets start another fight, they will pay with their lives, they'll be executed. And that is very important later in the play. So then everybody exits except Montague and Benvolio. So Romeo's parents and Benvolio are left. Who set this ancient quarrel new abroach? Speak, nephew. Were you by when it began? Here were the servants of your adversary, and yours, close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them, in the instant came that the fiery Tybalt with his sword prepared, which, as he breathed defiance to my ears, he swung about his head and cut the winds, who nothing hurt withal hissed him in scorn. while we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and more, and fought on part and part, till the prince came who parted either part. "Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today?" "Right glad I am he was not at this fray." "Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth in golden window of the east. A troubled mind drave me to walk abroad, where underneath the grove of sycamore the westward rooteth from the city side. So early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me and stole into the covert of the wood. I, measuring his affections by my own, that most are busied when they're most alone, pursued my humour not pursuing his, and gladly shunned who gladly fled from me." So Benvolio saying that he saw Romeo walking around before the sun was up, and he wanted to be alone, and so did Romeo, so they didn't speak, but it looks like Romeo is upset about something. "Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs, but also soon as the all-cheering sun should in the furthest east begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed. Away from the light steals home my heavy son, and private in his chamber pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and portentous must this humour prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove." So Lord Montague is saying that Romeo has been very emotional lately, very down. He has been locking himself in his bedroom and doesn't want to speak to anyone. He closes all the blinds or curtains and stays in his room in the dark. So clearly upset about something. "My noble uncle, do you know the cause?" "I neither know it nor can learn of him." "Have you importuned him by any means?" "Both by myself and many other friends, but he, his own affection's counsellor, is to himself, I will not say how true, but to himself so secret and so close, so far from sounding and discovery, as is the bud, but with envious worm, ere he can spread his sweet leaves to the air, or dedicate his beauty to the sun. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as know. See where he comes, so please you, step aside, I'll know his grievance, or be much denied. I would thou wert so happy by thy stay, to hear true shrift. Come, madam, let's away." "Good morrow, cousin." "Is the day so young?" "But new struck 9. Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?" "It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?" "Not having that which having makes them short." "In love?" "Out." "Of love?" "Out of her favour, where I am in love." "Alas, that love so gentle in his view should be so tyrannous and rough in proof." "Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should without eyes see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? Oh me, what fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I haven't heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, O brawling love, O loving hate, O anything of nothing first create, O heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep, that is not what it is. This love I feel, that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?" So here Romeo is explaining why he's so upset. It's got to do with love. Being in love with someone who doesn't love him back. "No, coz, I rather weep." "Good heart at what?" "At thy good heart's oppression." "Why?" "Such is love's transgression. Griefs of mine own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed with more of time thine. This love that thou hast shown doth add more grief to too much of mine own. Love is a smoke raised with the fumes of sighs, being purged, a fire sparkling in lovers' eyes, being vexed, a sea nourished with lovers' tears. What is it else? A madness, most discreet, a choking gall and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my coz. Soft, I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong. Tut, I have lost myself, I am not here, this is not Romeo, he's some other where. Tell me in sadness, who is it, who is that you love? What shall I groan and tell thee? Groan? Why no, but sadly tell me who. Bid a sick man in sadness make his will? Ah, world, ill, urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman. I aimed so near when I supposed you loved. A right good mark, man. And she's fair, I love. A right fair mark, fair coz, is soonest hit. Well, in that hit you miss, she'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Dian's wit, and in strong proof of chastity well armed. From love's weak childish bow she loves unarmed. She will not stay the siege of loving terms, nor bid the encounter of assailing eyes, nor ope her lap to saint seducing gold. Oh, she is rich in beauty, only poor that when she dies with beauty dies her store. So here we finally find out Romeo is in love with this girl, and she is not interested in him, no matter how much he flirts with her and tries to convince her otherwise. Then she hath sworn that she will still live chaste. She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste, for beauty starved with her serenity, cuts beauty off from all prosperity. She is too fair, too wise, wisely too fair, to merit bliss by making me despair. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell it now. Be ruled by me, forget to think of her. Ah, teach me how I should forget to think. By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties. So Benvolio's solution is to forget about Rosaline and start looking for someone else. And Romeo's reaction is, "'Tis the way to call hers exquisite and question more. These happy masks that kiss fair ladies' brows, being black put us in mind, they hide the fair. He that is stricken blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Show me a mistress that is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve but as a note, where I may read who's past that passing fair? Farewell, thou canst not teach me to forget." So his reaction is to say, there is no one else, I cannot love anyone else, he's in love with this girl, and this girl is Rosaline. I'll pay that doctrine, or else die in debt. Okay, and here, while that is going on, we see that Capulet and Paris are speaking, and Capulet is Juliet's father. Paris is the man that she is engaged to. And Capulet is having a ball, and he sends out a servant to go and look for the guests and to give them the invitations. But the problem is that he is illiterate, so he bumps into Benvolio and Romeo and asks them to please read the guest list for him. Romeo reads it and sees that Rosaline, this woman that he's so in love with, is on the list. So Benvolio suggests that they go to this ball, sneak in, so that Romeo can see Rosaline and feel better. Here, Lady Capulet and Juliet and the nurse, so the nanny slash maid, are busy speaking about how Juliet is 14 now and she should be married, and the nurse is speaking about what Juliet was like when she was growing up, and Lady Capulet is trying to push Juliet to get married. And This scene, Romeo, Benvolio, Mercutio, and their friends are all getting ready to sneak into the party. So they can all wear masks because it's a masquerade, and that should help them not get recognized. And they're just busy joking about love and sort of making fun of Romeo. Okay, and this is... Okay, no, this is the right scene. So this is Act 1, Scene 5. We're going to read that one. So this is where the masquerade is happening. And it's where Romeo and Juliet meet for the first time. Where's Potpan, that he helps not to take away? He shift a trencher, he scrape a trencher, when good manners shall lie all in one or two men's hands, and they unwashed too, 'tis a foul thing. Away with the joint stools, remove the court cupboard, look to the plate, good thou save me a piece of marchpane, and as thou lovest me, let the porter let in Susan Grindstone and Nell, Anthony and Potpan. Aye, boy, ready. You are looked for and called for, asked for and sought for, in the great chamber. We cannot be here and there too. Cheerly, boys, be brisk a while, and the longer liver take all. Welcome, gentlemen. Ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns will have a bout with you. Aha, my mistresses, which of all of you will now deny to dance? She that makes dainty, she, I'll swear, hath corns. Am I come near ye now? Welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the day that I have worn a visor, and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone. You're welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play, a hall, give room, and foot it, girls. More light, you knaves. Turn the tables up, and quench the fire. The room is grown too hot. Ah, sirrah, this unlooked for sport comes well. Nay, sit, good cousin Capulet, for you and I are past our dancing days. How long is't now since last yourself and I were in a masque? By a lady 30 years. What, man? 'Tis not so much. 'Tis since the nuptials of Lucentio. Come, Pentecost as quickly as it will. Some 25 years, and then we masked. 'Tis more. His son is elder, sir. His son is 30. Will you tell me that? His son was but a ward 2 years ago. What lady is that, which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight? I know not, sir. So Romeo has spotted Juliet. Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady over her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and, touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now, forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night. So, remember, Romeo went to this party to see Rosaline, who was a woman that he was madly in love with and had no intention of ever forgetting. Well, he saw Juliet, and now he's forgotten about Rosaline. This, by his voice, should be Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. What dare the slave come hither, covered with an antic face, to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? Now, by the stock and honour of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin. Why, how now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so? Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite, to scorn at our solemnity this night. Young Romeo, is it? 'Tis he, that villain Romeo. Content thee, gentle coz, let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman. And, to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I will not for the wealth of all the town here in my house do him disparagement. Therefore be patient, take no note of him. It is my will, the which if thou respect, shall show a fair presence, and put off these frowns, and ill-beseeming semblance for a feast. It fits, when such a villain is a guest, I'll not endure him. He shall be endured. What, good-managed boy? I say he shall. Go to. I am the master here, or you. Go to. You'll not endure him. God shall mend my soul. You'll make a mutiny among my guests. You will set a cock-a-hoop. You'll be the man. Why, uncle, 'tis a shame. Go to, you saucy boy. Is so indeed. This trick may chance to scathe you. I know what. You must contrary me. Marry, 'tis time. Well said, my hearts. You are Prince Cox. Go, be quiet, or more light. More light. For shame, I'll make you quiet. But cheerly, my hearts. Patience perforce with wilful choler meeting makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall now, seeming sweet, convert to bitter gall. If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle finds this, my lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. So here, Romeo is trying to convince Juliet to kiss him by describing his lips as pilgrims wanting to pray to or touch a saint's hand to take away their sins. And she is also playing along with this and flirting back. Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss. Have not saints lips, and holy palmers too? Ay, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer. Oh, then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou lest faith turn to despair. Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake. Then move not, while my prayer's effect I take. Thus, from my lips, by yours, my sin is purged. Then have my lips the sin that they have took. Sin from thy lips? O trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again. Okay, so here they've kissed twice. You kiss by the book. Madam, your mother craves a word with you. What is her mother? Mary Bachelor, her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you talked withal. I tell you that he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks. Is she a Capulet? Oh dear account, my life's my foe's debt. Away, begone, the sport is at the best. Ay, so I fear, the more is my unrest. Nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. Is it even so? Why then I thank you all. I thank you, honest gentlemen. Good night. My torch is here. Come on then, let's to bed. Ah, sirrah, by my fay, it waxes late. I'll to my rest. Come hither, nurse. What is yon gentleman? The son and heir of old Tiberio? What's he that now is going out of the door? Marry, that, I think, be young Petruchio. What's he that follows there? That would not dance? I know not. Go ask him his name if he be married. My grave is likely to be my wedding bed. His name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy. My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love, it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy. What's this? What's this? A rhyme I learned even now of one I danced withal. Anon, anon, come let's away, the strangers all are gone. Okay, so we're going to stop there for now, and I will continue with the next couple scenes in my next video.